If we play like the Yankees in here, we're going to lose to them out there. These are the words that Billy Beane said in an internal meeting trying to figure out how to win a championship roster with a very low payroll. The movie Moneyball is one of my favorite films because it really enhances one of the starting points of analytics within sports as we know it today. I've worked with a few different companies in the past covering sports analytics and sports content that revolves truly around predictive analytics. So it is a great passion of mine and something that I love to do in my free time. This leads me to my thoughts that analytics have truly transformed the way sports are being played today. The movie Moneyball is looked at as one of the starting points of analytics within sports. Since the Athletics have employed this strategy, many organizations have followed suit and really dove into the idea of analytics being one of the main focal points on an organization. While the initial movement toward an emergence of analytics was tough to swallow, there were very specific examples of how successful this strategy could be when used correctly. One of the first instances where analytics were successfully put to use in sports was when the Oakland A's management found that through sabermetrics, on-base percentage was one of the highest correlated factors to win probability in baseball. Billy Beane was the manager of the Athletics in the early 2000s, and he used sabermetrics to find that on-base percentage resulted in a higher likelihood for a team to score runs, which led to more games being won by that team. In Lee Steinberg's article on Forbes' website in August of 2015 about the rise of sports analytics, he mentioned that Beane's use of sabermetrics really revealed the key to success that a team's on-base percentage could lead to more wins. This led to the prioritization of statistics and data to be evaluating players in terms of drafting or looking at free agency or even trading away or trading for players. The Oakland Athletics, through these processes, targeted players that fit their system in particular, rather than fitting society or the league's standards of power and speed and kind of just market share overall. This low-cost roster in 2002, though it wasn't the brightest or didn't look the best on paper, they ended up winning 100-plus games, which was one of the biggest achievements of the year in the league. The movie Moneyball did a great job of really emphasizing these roster moves, the thought processes behind them, and kind of just how the team thought about analytics and really thought about that rather than trying to go after the biggest name players. Angela Underwood's article also talked about how there's different strategies employed through sabermetrics, like stealing less on the base paths or seeing more pitches to increase on-base percentage through walks rather than just hitting home runs. Because of the use of sabermetrics was incredibly impactful in the sports world, many organizations have really followed this and put this to the test, but it has also given the smaller teams a chance to compete with the big guns and become important in the league rather than the Yankees and Red Sox or the Lakers and Celtics winning every year. Analytics have been on the rise over the past few decades and are a major part of not only professional organizations, but the fan bases of those organizations as well. Nearly every team in professional sports across all leagues have an analytics department where experts take scouting notes and gathered information to analyze data and assign value to individual players. A few of these articles talked about how things like in basketball, usage rate and true shooting and effective field goal percentage are excellent analytical measures and can really track a player's effectiveness rather than just how many points they score or something like that. Underwood's article also showed how there are different types of analytics employed in the NFL draft, where running backs are being drafted less in the first round, or in basketball, how the three-point shot has a higher expected value to two-point shots, things like that. Even fans have really caught on to the wave of analytics within sports, as there have been many websites like 538.com where fan bases can kind of analyze games or seasons and gain a better understanding of how these are put to the test. As we've seen, the evolution of analytics has become very profound over the years, beginning with Billy Beane and really moving through every organization that we know today. I hope I've made it clear that analytics have transformed the way sports are being played today. Ever since Billy Beane had a simple theory based on a few statistics that he had found that certain factors led to higher win probability, it has really changed the game as we know it today. The rise of sports analytics is not a perfect science, and it may never be, but Billy Beane said it best, saying, if we pull this off, we change the game. We change the game for good." And I believe he did just that. He changed the game for good.